We've done a couple of videos now of me out on the streets of LA delivering coffee, and it turns out that some of you actually like them. So in this video, I'm talking about the USPS situation and Instagram with its new product Reels, the PPP, the current state of business out there, and sales in a depressed economy. It's a longer form video. Again, you don't necessarily have to watch it, but you can put it on in the background and grab a cup of coffee and go about your day. I hope you like it. Enjoy.
Susan Davis has more. Democrats called for DeJoy to appear to explain the decision-making behind the removal of certain sorting machines and mailboxes, as well as changes to overtime pay for carriers that coincided with reports of mail delays. Democrats allege that the Trump administration is meddling with postal operations, citing the president's repeated attacks on mail-in voting, which he believes will hurt his re-election chances despite no evidence of that. DeJoy already testified under oath before the Senate last week that he has never spoken to the president about postal operations. He also testified that the Postal Service is capable of handling mail-in ballots this November, but he advised people vote early to ensure they are delivered on time. Susan Davis, NPR News, Washington. On Wall Street, the Dow Jones Industrial Average is...
Well, that was interesting. I was planning to talk about the USPS later on in the day, but the first thing that's on the radio when I get into the van is that NPR story. So let's talk about USPS. First of all, the slowdown is real. So I would say mid-July, early July, when we were running our wholesale prices for all or for life promotion, we started noticing a pretty significant uptick in customer complaints about shipping times and telling us that basically we have a good product, but our shipping times are woeful. And we're, politely writing back saying we're sorry, but it's USPS. Once it leaves our warehouse, there's not much we can do about it. And this was going on for, I would say, maybe 4 weeks, maybe even a bit longer. And it was getting worse and worse. We were seeing packages routed to Sacramento, to San Francisco, and even out to Atlanta, just to turn back and be delivered to Los Angeles. So I don't know what was up with that. So they were just getting too busy here, we thought, just because of the uptick in people getting stuff moved to their house or ordered to their house. And then slowly but surely there's murmurings on Twitter about it, and then finally the mainstream media starts picking up on it. It took 4 to 5 weeks for that to happen, and as we know, a new Postmaster General has been appointed, and he's cutting back overtime, and as a result packages aren't going out even though there's a huge demand for it. So it was incredibly real, and basically we just had to get on the front foot and tell our customers, hey, you're mad, we're mad, we've just made a lot of grounds together, we've formed a new relationship, but USPS is letting us down, and tell your local congressman. I mean, what world are we living in where we're having to defend our business and we're losing customers and we're pleading with them to go talk to a politician? What? How is that? Why is that happening? Anyway, I don't want to be political, but we kind of have to be, right? I mean, it's a very clear thing that is happening, that the USPS has been affected by a new appointee. Anyway, USPS, that was and it continues to be something we need to watch. We'll see if I get home after today's deliveries and our packages are still in the warehouse. They haven't been out to pick up from our warehouse for the last 3 to 4 weeks, so the cutbacks are real. No, he stopped. So I just did my first drop downtown LA to Pigot Cold Brew. You should check him out. But so yeah, downtown's a bit of a ghost town. I just drove past Stumptown, their location on 8th and Los Angeles, and it's still shut. It's boarded up and there is no sign of life. I wonder how many staff are not working right now because that location is shut down. And then I also wonder, well, you know, for the safety of them, is that a good thing? Or is it a bad thing? Should they be open? Should their staff be working? It's unanswerable. You know, put people's lives in harm's way by remaining open, or you close and I don't know if they're paying them or not, or you know, maybe they're collecting unemployment, which by all means has ended as far as I'm aware. But this makes me think about the PPP and the current state of business. You know, we're in August, and late August, the shutdown happened March 16, a date I will never forget. And so what's that? March, April, May, June, July, August. We're now 5 months into it, and we still are in limbo. We're still treading water. And I've noticed that, you know, from our standpoint, from a business standpoint, we are noticing customers of ours shut down permanently on a weekly basis. We've had 4 shut down permanently this month alone. And you know, I can only think it's because if they'd gained the PPP, it's all but run out or has run out, and so is their bandwidth and mental energy. And so what do? Do you get out while you're ahead, hopefully ahead, or get out without any losses? And so that's what's happening. People are shutting down, and strangely, and this leads me on to my next thing, strangely, you know, on social media, when all this was happening, there was so much banter about supporting small business, support local, shop local. You know, looking at Instagram, it was in my feed all the time, support local. And then it moved to Black Lives Matter, support BLM, you know. And then Instagram 2 weeks ago or something releases a new product that it wants to push to compete with TikTok called Reels, and all of that goes away, and all we see in our feed now are people dancing, and nothing else. So what's that about, Instagram? Talk to me. Why were you being a great social empowerment tool, and then as soon as you want to push a brand new product called Reels, which as an old guy, I guess, I don't understand. Yeah, okay, I get it. You want to compete with TikTok, and possibly you don't want TikTok in America. But that everything goes aside because you want to push a new product. Thank you very much. Well, on the back of the closure of those businesses that we've had this month, I find myself in a position where, one, I'm back out on the highway doing deliveries. That's fine. But also, we have to start doing sales again. And it's a really interesting what's the right word? It's kind of a really odd situation we find ourselves in, because we're having businesses close on the back end, and we haven't done any outreach since March 16, because one, we were in survival mode. Two, how do you go to a small business owner or a cafe owner or whatever? How do you go to them and say, hey, I know you're hurting and you're only doing 50% of the volume that you used to, but have you thought about trying our coffee? But we have no other choice. I mean, we can't just let business after business close and not add more business on the front end. Everyone will be out of a job, my entire team. So here we are. We've started outreach again, and the only way I can think of doing it is as business owner to business owner, empathizing and trading war stories and how business is potentially going to change forever for a lot of us. And we'll see what happens. I mean, I did some initial outreach last week, and we had one or two people that were like, oddly enough, happy to see us and we're interested. So maybe it's a good time. Maybe it's 5 months down the line and we all need a little bit of normal routine, like a normalcy. Yeah, it's not going around and just knocking on the door and being like, hey, boom, boom, boom. Buy our coffee, you'll love it. We're the hippest, bestest, raddest coffee company in town. It is not anywhere near that. Not that it ever has for me, let me just say that right away. But man, it's a whole different proposition right now. Well, about to wrap up my day. The only last question I have is, did UPS and USPS pick up our packages? It'd be nice to think we could get through our week relying on both those companies to pick up for us, but we can't, and actually reminds me, before the USPS debacle, we had UPS in turmoil, not coming to pick us up. They didn't come pick our packages up for, oh gosh, I think we're into 8 or 9 weeks. And it was right at the beginning of the pandemic, and it was because I believe the same thing, like, I think it was really because of safety. They had a lot of drivers call out and not want to work because of the pandemic, and so as a result UPS shut down, at least from our perspective. They didn't come and pick up at our location for, like I said, 8 to 9 weeks, and then they sort of picked their act up, and then USPS fell to bits. So we'll see if I have to go drop off to either of those locations. Oh, I think I see UPS. Yep, UPS are actually in the driveway right now. That is hilarious. That is also fantastic. How you going?
Pretty good.
Good to see you again.
Likewise.
Thanks for coming. I'll come in and...
You're right, let me just get those for you.
Yeah, I'm going around the back. It's okay. Thanks. Yes. The little things. But I didn't see if USPS had come. Alright, let's check it out. Alright, there we go. Isn't that crazy that the difference between a good day and a bad day is seeing that truck? And look, here we go. All our packages gone. USPS and UPS working in harmony. Excellent. Good job, guys.